Hi everyone, I am Sreekanth. We are discussing programming in C language. The topic is about basics of C programming language. Today's agenda of this session is about complete overview of C language, what is C language, the basic history of C language, and various applications are developed with the help of C programming language, and characteristics of C language, importance of C language, and uses of C language with suitable examples. What is C programming language? C language is a general purpose procedural computer programming language supporting structured programming, lexical variable scope, and recursion with a static type system. C is a core language. C is a general purpose programming language. In computing, C is a general purpose programming language and it is a cross platform block structure procedural imperative computer programming language. By design, C provides constructs that map efficiently to typical machine instructions. It has found lasting use in applications previously coded in assembly language. Such applications include operating systems and various application softwares for computer architecture that ranges from what supercomputers to PLCs and embedded systems. Simply you can remember what is C language. C is a general purpose programming language. C is a core language. It supports cross platform block structure procedural programming language, imperative programming language. C is a mother of all programming language. C is a system programming language. C is a procedural oriented programming language. C is a structured programming language. C is a middle level programming language. C is a imperative procedural programming language. We can define C in this manner. Coming to the basic history of C language, the first language is called Algol. After the Algol, they developed CPL, Combined Programming Language. After CPL, they introduced BCPL, Basic Combined Programming Language. After BCPL, they introduced B language. After the B, obviously the name comes what? C, right? So they are going to be added more features and advanced concepts comparing to the B language. That language name is called C language. Initially they are called traditional C language. Why the name came C? Understood, right? In case of Algol, what is the first letter is what? A. After Algol, they are going to be introduced to what? CPL, Combined Programming Language. After some improvements of CPL, they are going to be naming what? BCPL, Basic Combined Programming Language. They are going to be enhanced with the next language is called B language. After B language, they are going to be enhanced with the new advanced topics in one language is called C language. Remember this Algol, BCPL, B languages are completely most of the applications are supported what low level languages, but coming to the C language onwards, it going to be supports both the low level languages and these topics or concepts are also used in what high level language. For that sake, C is what C supports complete low level as well as what high level. C is a middle level programming language. These C topics and concepts are going to be used in advanced programming languages also. Further, C supports high level applications as well as low level applications. For that sake, C become what? C is a middle level programming language. C is a successor of what? B language. C is going to becomes before C language what? B language is there. C is going to be improvement version or advanced version of what? B language. C has been standardized by what? ANSI, American National Standard Institute, since 1989. See, that is called ANSI C, and by the ISO, International Organization for Standardization. The C stable release is what? C-17, like is going to be released in between 2017 to 2018. C preview release is called C2X. Still it is in what? to be determined. The common file extensions used in the C programming language is what? With extension of .c. Always remember, these C applications are going to be saved with the name called what? With the extension .c. Which .c? File name .c. And all these built-in libraries or header files are going to be represented in another file is called .h file. .h file is a built-in header files. Also we may create our user defined header files also, but generally the built-in functionalities are going to be added in one file. That file is called what? .h file. .h file represents what? Header files. In C language we are going to be commonly using file extensions are what? .c files. Our source code is going to be saving with the name called file name .c, and all built-in library or header informations are stored in one file is called .h file. See, C is what? Cross platform. C has facilities for structured programming and allows lexical variable scope and recursions. See, it's a static type system prevents unintended operations. C program source text is what? Free format using semicolon. Remember, in C language, every statement must be terminated with what? Semicolon. As a statement terminator, here semicolon is used in C programming for what? Statement terminator. Every statement must end with a semicolon, and all the statements are going to be enclosed with what? Curly braces or open and closed flower braces, like that. In the previous video session I explained about the structured programming, right? See, it going to be suppose what? Block statements or curly braces. These block open and closed braces consist what? The group of statements or set of statement. See, in C language these functions are main functions or user defined functions or blocks consist what? Set of statements. See, these curly braces for what? Grouping block of statements in a C language. Remember these 2 points. In C language we are enclosing the grouping the block of statements with the curly braces or open and closed flower braces, and each statement must be end with what? Semicolon. Okay, semicolon behaves like what? Statement terminator in C programming language. See, now we can define what is C language. C is a general purpose procedural computer programming language. C is a mother language of what? All programming languages. C is a middle level programming language, because C, using C we can able to develop low level application, and also using C concepts and topics that can help for what? High level application. We can develop high level application. For that sake, C is what? C is a middle level programming language. C is a imperative procedural language. C is a system programming language, procedural oriented programming language, structured programming language. So in this manner we can able to define what is C language. See, C programming language was developed Mr. Dennis Ritchie in the year 1972 at Bell Laboratories of AT&T, American Telephone and Telegraph, located in the USA, to construct what? Utilities running on what? Unix operating system. See, who is the founder of C language? C was developed by Mr. Dennis Ritchie in the year 1972 at Bell Laboratories. The main intention for developing C programming language to construct utilities running on what? Unix operating system. Okay, so this is the overview of what? C programming language. Okay. So next, we try to discuss in detail about what are the various applications of C programming. So using C programming, several real-time applications are developed and using, like operating systems, language compilers, assemblers, text editors, print spoolers, network drivers, modern programs, databases, language interpreters, and utilities. So many applications are developed with the help of what? C programming. What are the various characteristics of C? C is a small in size, extensive use of function calls, and it supports what? Structure. C is a structured programming language. C is a low level programming. It is readily available. Pointer implementation, extensive use of pointers for what? Memories, arrays, concepts, structures, concepts, and functions. See, already we discussed in the previous video sessions about what? Structured programming language. What it means, the main problems or main program is going to be subdivided into what? Several sub problems, right? See, here the subroutines, the main subroutine is called functions. Functions are going to be mainly used in what? C programming. It becomes what? Code reusability. Okay, whenever we required, we can call that functionalities. Okay, what is function? What are the different types of functions, like your customized functions, built-in functions? We can discuss in detail with the programs in the coming sessions. Remember, C supports what? Functions topic. C supports what? Pointer implementation. Means using these pointers we can directly interact with the memories. We can able to allocate the memory and we can able to deallocate the memory using some memory management functions in the C language. C supports what? Arrays topics, structures, user defined topics like structures, unions, and functions. C is a high level constructs. C supports both high level as well as what? Low level. It can handle what? Low level activities. It produces efficient programs. It can be compiled on a variety of compilers. The language has a small fixed number of keywords. Here keywords is nothing but what? Reserved words. Remember, for every programming language some set of built-in words are there. We can call it that is keywords. Each word has some specific meaning. We must use that word for particular meaning purpose only, but you cannot use our user defined type for particular keyword. Example, we can take if. If is a keyword. Using if keyword for what? Conditional checking with the program. See, conditional statements we are going to be using what? If keyword. Like while is a keyword which is used for what? Looping purpose or iteration purpose. We are using what? While keyword. Like include is a keyword which is used to perform what? Like including some built-in header files or some user defined header files using what? Include is a keyword. Like C supports 32 keywords. Like each keyword has some specific meaning. If has specific meaning, while has specific meaning, include has specific meaning. Like every keyword has some specific meaning. These keywords are nothing but what? Built-in words. We can call it keywords or reserved words. It has a large number of what? Supporting various operators in C language, especially like arithmetic operators. We can perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, several bitwise operators, bitwise and operator, or operator, negation operators, like various shift operators, logical operators like logical and, logical or, logical not, shift operators, conditional operators. Like C supports various types of operators. We can able to develop the programs with the help of these operators. More than one assignments may be performed in a single statement. C supports functions topics like function return values can be ignored when not needed. Function and data pointers permits Hadoop runtime polymorphism. Function may not be defined with the lexical scope of what? Other functions. Okay, see, we can divide the major problem, like assume arithmetic operators is the arithmetic operators consist what? Several operators like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, right? Instead of writing these arithmetic operator entire in single block or single or main function, we can divide these arithmetic operator into what? Several sub functions. Like addition, I'm going to be writing one separate function like addition function. It can perform only addition of particular numbers. Like subtraction, I try to write only subtraction of particular integrals. Like I divide this main operator or main problem into what? Several sub problems. These we are going to be represented functions in what? C language. Data typing is what? Static but weakly enforced. All data has a type but implicit conversions are what? Possible. So user defined types like type F and compound types are what? Possible in C language. Low level access to what? Computer memory is possible by converting what? Machine addresses to what? Typed pointers. Like procedures just only explained. Subroutines not returning values are a special case of functions with an untyped return type called void. Remember here another keyword is there, void. Okay, see what is void? Void is a keyword. Void is a reserved word. Void is a like a keyword or reservoir or built-in verb provided by what particular programming language. What is void? What is the meaning of void? Void is a empty type. It does not returns any value to the particular function calling. So void is a, just remember, empty type. It does not returns any value. We'll discuss in detail in the programmatical, but here you can remember about void. Void is a empty data type, or empty type does not returns any value to the memory or calling function. A preprocessor performs macro definitions, source code file inclusions, and conditional compilation. See, there is a basic form of what? Modularity. See, C language also supports what? Modularity, but in the form of what? Subroutines or functions. In the form of what? Functions. But still here some dependencies are there, and some modularities provides us in the form of what? Header files with the extension of .h. It consists all built-in functions, but the later high-level programming languages, they are going to be improve this modularity concept, and they are going to be elaborately independent of these functionalities with a particular source code. Okay, the complex functions such as what? IO, input output, string operations like string manipulation. String is nothing but here collection of characters or group of characters. Several string operators like string concatenations, string reverse. I want to find the length of the given string. Like that, we can perform several string related operations, string manipulations. And mathematical functions are consistently delegated to what? Library routines. C has inbuilt libraries. It provides several input output. You no need to write. We no need to write every time for reading data from keyboard or printing data to the console. Not required to write entire code. C provides some built-in libraries. Just we need to include. Example, I can give one of the header file is called stdlibrary.h. Okay, so this stdio.h, stdlibrary.h, conio.h, like several header files are available in the C language. See, I take one example called stdio.h. Just I explained about .h represents what? Header files. It consists all built-in functionalities are there in the particular file. Now, normally we can call it as a library file or header files in the C programming language. Here stdio.h stands for what? Standard I stands for input output file. See, not required to write entire input code or output code while constructing C based applications. Just import stdio.h. It enables several input output functions like a scanf is a function. Using scanf function, we can able to read data from keyboard. Another function like printf function. Using printf function, we can able to print the data or result to the console or monitor or to the resultant output window. See, in this fashion, C provides what? Or minimizes what? Work of development of C based applications. See, these are all the very important characteristics of what? C programming language. Okay. And coming to the what are the main importance of C language? C is a robust language which a rich set of built-in functions and operators that can be used to write any complex program. So just only explained regarding about functions, right? See, we can also develop user-defined functions, but C inbuilt provides some built-in functions that is embedded in what? Header files like stdio.h. Header file consists all standard input output functions. Functionalities like math.h consists all mathematical related functionalities. Like conio.h consists like console input output header file related functionalities. Like several built-in functions are embedded with what? Some header files with extension file name.h. The C compiler combines the capabilities of an assembly language with the features of what? High level language. Programs written in C are efficient and fast. So this is due to its variety of data type and powerful operators. So it is many time faster than what previous programming languages like B language, basic language, Olga. Comparatively, those languages C is what? Many time faster of application development. Another important feature of C program is its ability to what? Extend itself. Like code extendability is going to be supported in the C programming language. A C program is basically a collection of functions that are supported by C libraries. We can also create our own functions and add it to what? C libraries. I told you, right? We can also create our own functions, user defined functions or customized functions that can also add it into our own header files like stdio.h, con.h. These are all built-in header files. Like we can create our own header file like SreekanthDeva. There we can add all built-in functionalities. Okay, so example like here I'm going to be creating one header file like with the name called SreekanthH. Okay, or Sree.h. I'm creating one header file. In this header file, I can add all user defined related functionalities. Like add function is not there, right? I can add the add function in the Sree.h. See, any end user or programmer required to perform addition of an operation, not required to write the logic. Simply they can include Sree.h and they call function called add function. Like several built-in functions are there in the built-in libraries, but we can also create our own user-defined functions with the user-defined header files. We can also add it like factorial function. This factorial function is not there. We can write the logic. I am going to be writing one logic and adding this factorial function in what? Sree.h. See, who required this factorial of a operation or factorial functionality? Just they can import Sree.h header file. They can call the factorial function. Like several user defined functions we can add it: add, subtraction, multiplication, division, factorials, palindromes, Armstrong numbers, like Fibonacci series. Like several examples we can add it in our own header files. See, C supports what? 32 built-in keywords. Each keyword has some specific meaning. We must use for the particular purpose only. Cannot use our own purpose. Okay. Several standard functions are available which can be used for what? Developing a program. C language is the most widely used programming language in what? Especially used in what? System level application development like operating systems and embedded systems development nowadays. Okay. See, this is about importance of what? C language. See, what are the main uses of C language? C language is widely used in embedded systems. It is used for what? Developing system applications. See, we discussed in the different types of softwares, right? Types of softwares like system softwares, application softwares. See, C language is used to develop specially for what? System-based applications. It is widely used for developing what? Desktop applications. Desktop applications are those applications can run only within the machine. Okay, it is widely used for what? Developing desktop applications. Most of the applications like Adobe are developed using what? C programming language. So it is used for developing like browsers. Several browsers nowadays we are using, like Google Chrome browsers are there, Mozilla is there, like various browsers, right? Especially these Google Chromes are is going to be built using what? C programming language. So it is used to develop what? Several databases. In the previous video session I explained databases, right? We are storing in the application development, the whatever the application business logic operations, entire that data is going to be stored, organized and maintained in one layer is called persistent layer or database layer. Simply you can remember database is nothing but one storage area. We are storing the huge amount of data or data related operations storing in the area is called database. Especially this MySQL server is the most popular database software which is built using what? C language. MySQL is there, Oracle is there, like most of the databases, those are developed with the help of what? C programming. It is used in developing and what? Operating systems like such as Apple OS X, Microsoft Windows, Symbian are developed using which language? C programming language. It is used for developing what? Desktop as well as what? Mobile phones operating system. So it is used for what? Compiler productions. For high level programming languages, they're using compilers, right? Using C languages, they are going to be developed such compilers for high level programming language. Compilers also developed with the help of C programming language. It is widely used in what? IoT applications, Internet of Things, right? Those applications also developed using C programming language. See, why use C language? C is a core language. C is a general purpose programming language. C is a cross-platform language. C is a block structure. C suppose block structures, procedural like functions, imperative computer programming language. C is a powerful and flexible. C is a powerful and flexible language. C is used for what? Projects, especially for what? System development applications like operating systems and desktop applications like word processors, graphics, spreadsheets, and even some compilers for other languages. I told you, right? For high level languages, want to compile those high level applications, those compiler design or compiler development, these C codes are going to be used. Popular. C is a popular language preferred by professional programmers. As a result, a wide variety of C compilers and helpful accessories are available for what? Used by programmers. Quick. We can write codes which run quickly, and program can be very close to the hardware. I told you, using C language, we can develop system level applications like low level application as well as what? High level application. C is a middle level programming language. C can access easily low level activities and facilities. C is a portable. The word is very important. Portable. C is a portable. Portable is nothing but what? We can carry. We can carry the C source code. Assume I written C program in Windows operating system. See, we can carry that C source code and you can take it out in the different platforms like Linux environment or Unix environment or some other operating systems. There you can place that source code and you can compile and run the applications. Remember, C is a portable in nature, but C is a platform dependent. Sir, what is platform dependent? We'll discuss in the next session. Don't worry. But remember, C is a portable. C supports portable. We can carry the source code, we can compile and run in the different platforms. See, another system with what? Little or some modifications. If it is required any modification, do it based on particular operating system, but most of the time not required to modify. You can directly compile and run the application in the different platforms. Keywords. C has some built-in words or reserved words. So those are all called keywords. Every keyword has some specific meaning that used in for development of what? C programming applications. Modular. C is a modular. C code can be written in what? Routines called functions. I told you, right? The main problems can be divided into what? Sub problems. How we are implemented in C programming language, that concept is implemented with the help of what? Functions topic. Okay, these functions can be reused in what? Other applications or programs. By passing piece of information to the functions, you can create useful and reusable code. Whenever we required that functionality, that time only we can call that a functionality, like reusing that code is going to be there in the C programming language. C++ and C. C++ is a superset of what? C means the top of C concepts only that implemented and released another programming language is called C++. Means C++ contains everything what we are discussing in the C. All these topics are there in the C++, including additionally they are going to be added one more topic is called OOPS, object oriented programming concepts. They are going to be added in what? C++. C++ is nothing but what? It is an extension of C programming language. Whatever the complete concepts, topics, what we covering in the C language, that entire topic is there in the C++, along with what? The new additional topics are added. That topic is called OOPS, object oriented programming system concepts. Like when we call a language is object oriented programming language, like a language supports class, object, data abstraction, encapsulations, polymorphism, inheritance, data binding. Those programming languages are called object oriented programming language. But unexpectedly, C does not consist those topics. All object oriented programming topics are enabled from the C++ language onwards. But other than that, C consists several topics to develop C programming applications. We'll discuss one by one in the coming sessions. Okay, so in this session we discussed in detail about what is C programming. Remember, C language is a or C programming language is a general purpose programming language. C is a procedural oriented programming language. C is a system programming language. C is a structured programming language. C is a middle level programming language. C is a imperative procedural language. C is a high level language also, because C language is introduced in the third generations of languages, right? C is a high level language. Okay, before C, all ALGOLs or CPL, BCPL, B, these languages completely is going to be developing what? Low level applications, system related applications only. It won't suppose what? High level. That to be in the generations before third generations, like first generations of programming or computer languages, second generations of programming and computer languages, those are completely machine dependent language. But C is what? Machine independent language. For that sake, C is what? Middle level of what? Programming languages. C is a mother of all programming language. Why? Because whatever the topics and concepts we are using in C language, that going to be used in what? Next level programming languages like C++, Java, Python, .NET, PHP, like that. Like C is the base of all programming languages. Remember it. See, C was developed by Mr. Dennis Rich in the year 1972 at Bell Laboratories. Okay, for construct utilities running on what? Unix operating system. C has many specific characteristics. See, using C programming, we can develop several applications are developed in the real world applications like operating systems, language compilers, assemblers, text editors, print spoolers, network drivers, modern programs, databases, language interpreters, and utilities, utility based applications. Like more specific characters like variables may be hidden in nested blocks, partially weak typing. For instance, characters can be used as integrals, low level access to computer memories by converting machine addresses to typed pointers, functions and data pointers supporting Hadoop runtime polymorphism, array indexing as a secondary like notation defined in terms of what? Pointer arithmetic, a preprocessor for macro definition, source code file inclusions and conditional compilations, complex functionality such as IO, string manipulations and mathematical functions consistently delegated to library routines, a relative small set of what? Reserved words like keywords. C supports nearly 32 built-in words or keywords. So these are all various important characteristics and importance of what? C language. See, C primarily use is for what? System programming, including what? Implementing operating systems and embedded system applications due to a combination of desirable characteristics such as code portability and efficiency, ability to access specific hardware addresses, ability to like type to match externally imposed data access requirements, and a low runtime demand on system resources. Like wide range of users are there for using what? C programming language. So the several importance of C, I told you, right? It's a robust language. See, programs written in C are what? Efficient and fast due to several variety of data types and powerful operators. C compilers combines the capabilities of an assembly language with the features of a high level language. C has 32 keywords. C is a portable language. C language is well suited for what? Structured programming. C language has its ability to extend itself. See, these are all the various importance of what? C language. So we discussed in detail about what is C programming language, the basic history of C programming language, and also we discussed the applications in real world using C programming. What are the various applications are developed? Applications of C programming language, some important characteristics, importance, uses of C programming language. So that's it for today's session. So we discussed in detail about overview of C programming language in this session. So in the next session, we try to discuss the next topic of what? C programming. Okay, thank you for watching my videos. Thank you all.